Biden's commutation of 37 of the 40 federal death row inmates has another wrinkle. Let's talk about it. So 2 inmates are refusing to sign the commutation documentation in order to receive the commutation of their death sentences by Joe Biden. Those 2 people are Shannon Agoski, I'm probably butchering that name, and Lynn Davis. It's these 2 names up here in the little title. Now, as far as Shannon is concerned, he was convicted in 1989 of killing a president of a bank after stealing $71,000 with a relative of his. The relative got a different charge because he wasn't involved in the murder and just the theft, but Shannon was actually charged with murdering the bank president and dumping that body in a lake. Now, that is not what he's even on death row for. He also stomped a victim to death in 2001 in a Texas prison, and that is how he winded up on federal death row. Now, he is saying that he wants to dispute how he was charged for this stomping death, and that is why he is wanting to refuse the commutation. Now, for both of these, having a death row sentence means that the courts have to have a heightened scrutiny of their cases, which means they get more scrutiny on their cases than they would otherwise. And that seems to be the main reason why they want to refuse this commutation. Now, Lynn Davis is claiming overwhelming misconduct in his case. This guy was a police officer in New Orleans, and he had a complainant that complained because he abused a teenager in the 9th Ward of New Orleans. Now, he hired a drug dealer in order to kill that complainant. And from that, that's how he winded up on death row. His appeals actually took him off death row for a short period of time. However, he was put back onto death row in 2001. I think both of these are kind of screwed, though, because there was a 1927 Supreme Court decision that said that commutation, pardons, that sort of thing by presidents did not require the consent of the convicts in order for them to receive that commutation or that pardon. Frankly, I think it's disgusting that Joe Biden ever commuted 37 of the 40 death row inmates on the federal death row to begin with. So I hope that these 2 get put back on death row and have this overturned. I don't think that is likely, unfortunately, and they'll probably still do life in prison without the possibility of parole.